get visible after things totally calm down, right? Meanwhile, your calendar is feral like a crazy cat all over the place. Colors, you can't even remember what they are anymore. Your inbox is totally on fire. Yeah, you wish you could set fire to it. And later has been lying to you for years because you know what? The truth is, you are the best kept secret, my friend. You're busy doesn't equal visible. Hard work doesn't magically broadcast itself across the radio waves. Nope. That's why the Brew and Stew Media Spotlight exists. That's right. A collaboration between Nicole Borghi and Colleen Stubbs. One booking, two podcasts, no pitching, no chasing, no pretending you enjoy the outreach. We know you don't. Nobody does. You show up, you talk like the authority you already are. Your message gets heard on purpose to an aligned audience. Stop waiting. Stop hiding behind the busy button and book your Brew and Stew Media Spotlight package now because staying invisible is a choice and you're not going to do it anymore. You're going to be visible. You're going to be influential. Scan the QR code. Make that choice for the Brew and Stew package. Busy, booked, exhausted. Your inbox is screaming at you like a siren. Your calendar is still feral. Still calling yourself visible and you're just the best kept secret? Turns out I was right there with you, my friend. Wasn't getting seen, was just the best kept secret. Wasn't getting heard, definitely, kind of getting paid. But here, the magic, my friend. It's a collaboration between Colleen Stubbs and Nicole Borghi. The Voice Lab on the school platform shows you how to use podcast spotlights, summit stages, and simplified, yeah, that's right, simple outreach systems so your visibility actually works. Get seen, get heard, join the free Voice Lab on the school platform, and you're going to get it all. Because if you're working this hard, someone else should know about it. Scan the QR code today.
Right, all right. We're back again for more. It is hello, hello, and the babies are there. We're live. How awesome is this? So you had twinsies. The lambs had babies, yeah?
Yep, twins again last night. That makes 5 babies since the snow started flying. So this is for those people who say barometric pressure doesn't matter. It does.
Yes.
It does.
That's great. That's great. Well, awesome. Congratulations. Yay! More and more. All right. So let's get some stuff out of the way. We got the Voice Lab group that we have, and we also have the podcast. That's where we are right now. We are talking today about, let's see, let's get it up here. Where did I put it? All right. So let's look about, we're talking about staying relevant and consistency without losing authority. The point of this is that silence kills familiarity. I can say that 5 times fast today, faster than bad emails. So you don't want to be silent. You really want to wake up and get on the mic. That's what we're talking about today. Is really why or how can you stay relevant, and you cannot stay relevant without being on the camera.
Yeah.
This is what it's all about, right?
Yes. And
Yeah.
you stay top of mind because people hear you and see you all the time. It's the same as building any other relationship. If you go like total quiet, if you're radio silent when people are texting you or calling you, then that relationship deteriorates, right? It's the same exact thing. And so when you're building a business, you got to stay visible. You got to get seen and heard. You got to get on podcasts. You got to get on summits. And if you don't have the opportunity to do that, then just go live. Go live. What happens is people hear your voice. I'll rehash this story real quick that I've told a million times. When I had Chicken Lips, my boutique, the last boutique I had, I traveled to a Starbucks, which was 2 hours from here, and was ordering Starbucks. And a little girl, and we were inside the mall, the little girl came running up. Oh my gosh, it's a Chicken Lips lady. I didn't know this lady. I didn't know her daughter. I didn't know anything about them. You know what they knew? They knew they'd heard me on the radio. I had submitted a radio um, commercial to the radio station, and the guy came on and read it. A man, number one, it's a woman's boutique. A man came on and he's like, today down at Chicken Lips, the wanna better butt jeans are. And I'm like, oh, hell no, pull that, pull that. I told him, I says, I'll make my own commercials. And they said, well, you didn't have any experience. I said, I'll gain the experience right now, real quick. And I created my own commercials with my teammates that worked with me in my boutique. And so those are the commercials that were played. But it was me, real life, realistic, my voice. And so when I got out in public and was ordering at Starbucks hours away, somebody recognized me from my voice. They'd never seen my face before, but they recognized me from my commercials and were so excited to meet me. And so that's the value of being seen and heard. Get your voice out there so that when people hear it playing in the background, they're like, oh yeah, I like that. Let me tune in. And that's what we want, is them to keep pulling back in and tuning in.
You want people to tune in, turn on, tune in, wake up, and you can't wake them up without giving them a little bit of knowledge of where to go, what to do, how to do it. So you want to drive people. And that's what's great about getting on the stage. And if you get on stage enough, you get used to speaking to the crowd. Today we have the CEO Hacker. That's at 11 a.m. And you guys are welcome to join that. That is free. Come learn some tricks and tools about really what do you need to run a business. We had yesterday, we had Lois on, and she talked about her AI and her 5 favorite AI tools that she uses to run your business. There's a voice app, and it sounds like a human. It's very clear, it's concise, it's not robotic, right? It's not Lost in Space robot out there. It's not Robbie the robot. It's not robotic, it's not hard, it's soft, it's soothing, it's calming. And what the thing is that you can train those AI tools to run your business, answer questions, and schedule for you, so those things can happen in the middle of the night. That's a tool that you want to have as an entrepreneur. You don't have, who wants to hire an entire staff when you're just starting your business? Because you have to train them. If you got out of corporate world, you don't always want to jump into a huge employees, right? You don't want to jump into a huge business. Maybe you're just doing it to see how it runs. Maybe you have a franchise too. That's okay. That's all right. But you have a way that it runs, right? Right, Colleen? It's not going to be the same when you're running your own business, because everything runs differently. If you're like a solopreneur, an entrepreneur, it's just basically you and maybe somebody you hired for a moment or two.
Right, sure. Or you automate, right? So a lot of things are automated in that scenario. But let's go back to Lois. So what happened after Lois spoke yesterday? I mean, I can't speak for the rest of the participants. I can't speak for anybody that listened to her or that's going to listen to her. But guess what I did this morning? I got on a call with Lois and I hired her.
There you go. Awesome.
Yeah. Did she chase me down? No. But guess what? I've heard her for the last month. I've heard her speak in different occasions because I liked when she spoke, and so I began following her. And so I've heard her on multiple occasions speak. Heard her, tuned in yesterday to hear her, paid close attention to what she was saying, and then jumped on a call this morning and hired her. And so that's the power of getting seen and heard, is really putting your voice out there and people stepping in and going, yeah, this is what I want. This resonates with me in my situation and what I do. And so that's important to really understand, that is it worth overcoming your fear? Because so many people are hesitant to get out, get seen, get heard, and they're hesitant every step of the way. And why is that, Nicole? I feel like they're just waiting, right? They're waiting because they're not ready.
They're
They don't
waiting for the someday that's never on the calendar, right? And it's like, look,
They're waiting to be prepared. They're waiting to be ready.
you're never prepared. You're never ready. Then you never hear the right thing. And I feel in some of these groups, in all honesty, I'm going to say the harsh thing is, me, but let's talk about that elephant in the room. There's a lot of people that just want to go to the network and never pull the trigger. They are comfortable planning. It's like a bureaucracy. It's like working. If you've ever worked with people in the government, which I worked outsourced. So I was a manager for a security company, and watching people in the government meet, to get ready to meet, to prepare to get ready to meet, to never pull the trigger. And they're literally billions of dollars into it. So if you want to watch that and all the complaints about spending money, you cannot afford to do that with your business. It must be nice because somebody's supporting you, and that's fun. If you want to go have a hobby, you want to go play, go over there. When you're in a networking, come network, because there's your best people when you network, and you should be stage camera ready. And you should know your stuff, and you should be able to talk. It just takes practice, and let people know, hey, I'm working on this. I could use a few pointers, and just keep doing it. Let people know, hey, I'm new in this. It's a different world. But as you come there, and then you start to get on podcasts, and then you start to get on stages. And when you do this, you're sharing your message. Your best customers, like you just said with Lois, your best customers are the people you get on stage with.
Yes.
Your best support system are the people you get on stage with. The best people you can get to know, like, and trust is because you hear them enough, you talk to them enough, and we do speaker panel, and then we have podcasts. So how many times have you probably had connection with Lois? How many touch points did you have by just getting on the stage and going, hey, this can really drive my business, and I don't have to pay benefits to an employee. And you know what? It's somebody you can trust that's going to get on the phone and help you run your business and provide great customer service. And then you can provide great customer service to your employees, or your customers, actually, and share that loop. And it's cyclical. And then everybody's making money. People are collaborating together. And it's a win, 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 win all the way around, if you want to go to that. But it's how the system works.
Yeah. And the thing is that 2026, you either need to decide, are you going to spend the year getting prepared, or are you going to be on the GSD team, right? Like, I'm not here to sit still. And the truth is, you never can be prepared. You think you can be prepared, but you can only be prepared to a certain level. You can make sure that you've showered, that you're presenting yourself professionally, that you have rehearsed your business, that you know it inside out, that you know what resonates with people. That part you can do. You do that, but then you get up and you're in that position where you're speaking, and you can't be prepared for what other people are going to say to you. So yeah, you're more prepared the second time you do it, but there's always something that can happen that you're not prepared for. So whether it's, tech issues, goodness, good golly, we've had some of those, right? How many of us have moved and our eyebrows stayed over here, right? Or, or
Well, there's tech issues. Yeah, let's talk about that. I mean, and there was a
they're
tech
very
issue
real.
with an event. It's very real. 24 hours before the event started this week, there was an issue with the Zoom. I corrected it, but the system was still sharing the old Zoom no matter how much I refreshed it. So I had to send out an email. And there was some miscommunication. And so you have to say, hey, what's going on? Can I fix this? And it's great that people know and feel comfortable enough to tell me, hey, I couldn't get in. All right, what happened? Oh, it was a Zoom link. Let me go fix that. I know I fixed it. I'm not going to yell at them. I'm not going to yell at the system. There's nothing I can do
Yeah.
except take control of what I can take control of and change it. The
And take
upgrades are
accountability.
there.
And take
Exactly.
accountability, which
But
you
it's
did.
the
You said,
leadership.
this isn't working. I'm new.
Yeah.
Hang with me. Let's figure this out. I haven't had this problem. I have to figure this problem out. And everybody hung with you, and it turned out just fine.
Yeah, saying, hey, let's do this. It's a new upgrade. Let me just fully disclose it. And that's the greatest way to dispel rumors or dispel problems, and let people know first. The leader kicks in, and then you say, hey, this is exactly what happens. Stick with me. Give me a few moments. People will give you grace. You let them know what goes on, and say, hey, that's quality in your business. If you let people know that you can fix that right away, then they know that they can trust you to run their systems. They can trust you with the tech. They can trust you in my situation. Hey, I can trust Nicole with the summit, because I wouldn't want to have to do that. How many people would have fallen apart and just shut it down
Right.
and said, hey, we'll come back later? I've seen that happen. But if you don't do that, and that's why you have a support team, and that's why you show the qualifiers, and you come to the table and you say, hey, this is what I have, this is what I know, and this is what I can do. And it's not everybody telling you how to fix the problem that they don't understand. That's another thing. Hey, that's great. Great advice. Thanks for sharing. But that has nothing to do with what I'm doing right now. So a leader understands what's going on, and a leader can dispel any rumor and share the actual, hey, this is what's going on. Let me tell you, let's fix it. Let's move on. Because anybody else could have had a meltdown, or let the system get them, and then say, hey, we can't run the show. There
Right.
was a Wi-Fi glitch right before. Those things happen. And if you're not prepared, and if you don't If you don't hire somebody else to do that and you think you can do that yourself, that's not going to happen. And that's why you fail. And then you don't want to come back. And then you'll never come back and you'll never pull the trigger. And that's okay. Step away and go do something else. Maybe this business isn't for you. Maybe entrepreneurship isn't for you because you have to be your own boss and your own employee, no matter how many times you hire yourself or quit on your boss. And we do that to ourselves, right? We either fire ourselves or quit. And sometimes, you know, the greatest thing is when you can reward yourself and celebrate.
Yeah, and I think, Nicole, the bigger lesson here is that there are other leaders that are watching and they're learning how to lead too. They're saying, "Oh, look how she handled that." And
Yep.
so, and that goes for anything. It doesn't matter if, and I've done this. You take your phone, you stick it to the window, right? I've got a little thing that goes on the back of my phone and I could just stick it to the window and I can record. Well, sometimes the sticky comes off and the phone falls. Well, if I'm live, do I stop? No,
No.
you pick it up and keep going. It's no different than dancing. You know what? In high school, championship game, I dribbled to the wrong end and shot in the wrong basket and made the freaking basket. Did I stop? Nope, didn't. Nope, I didn't. I got right down there and got hustling again. I couldn't believe I'd done that. But you don't stop in the middle of the game. You commit at the beginning that this is what you're going to do, and then you take the necessary steps to change your habits to reach your goals. And you do it, and you show up authentically, and you follow through with it. Like all of these people that we're talking to, that we're communicating with, you're busy waiting to get polished and presentable, and they just want you as you are.
You know what? That's so true, but it's like a 16-year-old girl, right? 14, 16-year-old girl getting ready. How long is she going to do her hair? She spends 2 to 3 hours in the bathroom getting all prim and proper, and then walks outside and maybe you're going to meet your friends and you get all dressed up to go meet your friends and they just want to head down to the beach. So now your hair's a mess, you know, the humidity hits, your hair's like all over the place and your makeup is just dripping down your face. So you got
Yeah.
all ready for what?
Yeah.
You can't pivot right there. You're already in the moment and you're excited. But the greatest thing is that you can laugh about it. And that's huge, is to be able to say, man, that was a bad situation. And that's what I share in my newsletters, is to share with people, hey, this is a disaster. Maybe you're up at 3 o'clock and you're on your 100th cup of coffee or whatever you're on in the middle of the night getting stuff done and you're just stuff is breaking. And it happens. You know, I knew enough to say, hey, I'm going to stop after a certain period of time because I can't, there's nothing I can do with the system and tomorrow will be a different day. So know that when you wake up and hey, tomorrow's a new day, that phrase still works with tech because tech's going to do its thing and sometimes it'll catch up by the next day. So somebody will go in there and refix the system. So say, hey, how do I do this? And that's what you need. But get on the stage, you know, turn on the camera, come to the CEO Hacker and put that information in the chat for you guys. You know, come support the speakers. That's what they're there for. You know, talk to each other. Have some questions. Ask the speakers things because there's great presentations that they give. There's great speeches. But you know, Colleen, you're coming in today, and what are you going to talk about?
I'm going to talk about how to not be the bottleneck in business. Right. And so that's so huge. And it's actually one of my favorite things to talk about because I really just was the bottleneck for so long, right? For so many successful businesses that I built, but they're only successful to a point because I was the bottleneck. And so I really refined the process of getting the heck out of your own way so you can build a business you're madly passionate about while also building a life you're madly passionate about. And that's a thing this year of 2026, they're colliding, right? We used to
Mhm.
keep things separate, right? I remember growing up, my dad came home from work. He left work at 5 o'clock every day. He got home at 5:10, 5:11, and he laid down, had a 15-minute nap, and then he woke up and put on his dad hat and became dad.
Oh,
But
that's
now in the
sweet.
age where we're working from home, they collide, these worlds collide, and that's even more reason to be authentic in everything that we're doing, right? And so you have to be able to get out of your own way, learn to automate, learn to delegate, learn to repeat things over and over and over, and just automate those so that they go automatically without you having to look at them. Do the things that matter And don't worry so much about it being perfect, right? You want to automate and delegate to the highest level that you can, and then enjoy the ride. Get in, build relationships, communicate with people. And I set my systems up so that it's easy for you to do that. And the response that you get when you communicate is huge. I know so many people don't do that because fear holds them back that they're not going to be accepted. They're not going to, the people didn't feel the same. And you know what? To that, I say, that's okay. There's an unsubscribe button, right? Get on out of here with your bad self. But if
Right?
you resonate, like yesterday, I did my follow up for my meetings I had this week. Emailed the people that really resonated with me, sent them out an email saying, hey, I really enjoyed meeting with you. This is what I enjoyed most about it. This is where I see our relationship going. I hope that this was good for you also. Some of them, maybe I sent a calendar link and said, let's jump on another call, whatever that looked like. But doing that, and I got so much response from people because I took
Awesome.
the time to do that instead of it just being like, okay, I met with them and it's done. So it's really the communication. How many people, Nicole, how many people do you know that come on summits, since you're the summit queen, that come on your summits, get the leads from the summits, which, by the way, Nicole is excellent at sharing the leads from summits, and then sit on them?
Well, you're not going to get anywhere. Most people do. They don't even, there are speakers that don't email. That's another thing. I do want to say hi to Sharon Mitchell, the travel lady.
I share it.
She's on there in LinkedIn. Hello, Sharon. Hello, Sharon. Glad you're joining us today. Awesome. Hope to see you at the summit today. This is our last day, but that's true. I can give it to you. I give you everything. You get the leads from all the places that I share the events at. Why is that important? These people signed up to hear from you. They want to support you. They're not only supporting me, they're supporting you. So wherever all the pages that I list the event on, I harvest that out. Anybody know a great AI tool to harvest half of that? So it would make life easier. I think I'm looking for Willaxy today. I'm gonna check that out this weekend and do that. But anyway, you have to talk to the people after and let them know. Have your workflow set up. And I just changed the workflow, the first page of the workflow to say for the thank you from the event, right? I've got my workflow set up in the back, and I just changed that first email out
Yes.
for per each event and say, hey, thanks for being there. Because you know what? Really, thanks for signing up. Even if you didn't go to the event, I want you to go back to that page and get all the free gifts.
Yeah.
I want you to reach out to the speakers because a lot of the speakers as a free gift are even leaving that. Maybe you want to upgrade to VIP, get all the video, but you get to hear from these speakers and you get to see what they share. And that's so important to connect with them. Why are you getting on the stage if you're not talking to the people afterwards? It's the same thing as we go back to talking about the networking in the beginning. Why do you show up to networking if you're not going to reach out and get on a call?
Yeah, exactly, Nicole. So let's look at it like this. Let's say some of our listeners have brick and mortar businesses and you are opening your business and you're kind of doing a little hubbub like, hey, come on out. We're going to have a raffle. Come on out. Well, everybody comes out, and to join the raffle, they have to put their information on a form, stick it in the box, and then you draw one out that night and they're the winner. They get the prize, right? Well, these people that come into your store may wander around. Maybe they don't buy anything, but they put their name in the raffle box, right? And so what do you do as a store owner? At the end of the night, you draw out the one that won, you throw the rest in the trash and burn them.
Yeah.
No, you take them out. You do what Nicole's doing. You bring those names and email addresses and phone numbers, whatever you got, and put it there, and you reach out and build relationships with them. It's like, hey, we did the drawing for the raffle. I wanted to share with you who won. It wasn't you, but you know what? What I have for you is a discount next time you come in. I really appreciate you coming and visiting my business. And this is what
Exactly.
you build that relationship, because it's literally you taking the emails and just putting them on your list and letting them live there is the same as burning the box of raffle tickets. It's the
Well, that's just it. Why do it? The point is to reach out and people, guess what? People know you're going to call them. There's no secret. You
yeah,
want them to, hey, I want you to call. They do want to win something. And if you give them a discount, hey, I offer people that, when I reach out to the people, I tell them, thanks for coming in. Thanks for registering, getting on the list. And you know what? Hey, as a thank you, I want to not only share all the free gifts from all the speakers, but I also want to share Voice Lab. So it's a group. Come in. There's like-minded individuals that want to get seen and heard. Come on, get seen, get heard, get on the stage. Let's go. And that's what that whole thing is about. it's about engagement. People want to be talked to. There is a what did Tawana call it? Trust deficit,
Yes.
right? There's a trust deficit out there, and we want you to we want to share people with you, and that's what this whole thing is about. The whole stage, the whole point of this is so people can have connection. There's a speaker panels at these summits, so you can do Q&A. You can hear a little bit more about the speakers there. There's all kinds of stuff like and there's Q&A or interview style with the speakers. Ask questions. You want to know, hey, why do I want to buy your product? What makes it so good? Or hey, I have a question. Would it work with this system? Would it work with what I'm doing? Let's talk about that. Hey, would your email system work with that? And that's what happens when you get on a stage and you can engage with people. There's networking. It's going to take a little bit of time to get people's to shift and flip the script a little bit because we got so used to the way things were working. But people are getting used to the engagement. People are getting used to, hey, I can come and turn my camera on and talk to you and ask questions. And the best thing is if you're a speaker on the stage, you're going to talk to the other speakers too. Because where are your power partners? They're on that stage. Why are you on the stage? That's the gift of getting on the stage. You get on the stage, these are your power partners, you're going to work together, and then you get the leads, and then you can contact people. It's a magical system. Use it.
Well, yeah, and I just want to clarify too that when Nicole says that it's Q&A, that you can do Q&A, she's not talking about the speakers having Q&A with her or with each other. It's open floor Q&A. So anybody watching can
Yep.
participate in those. So if you sit there through something and you're thinking, "Oh, I like that idea, but really I don't know how that connects exactly." This Q&A is your opportunity to say, "Hey, explain that a little bit more. Or could you clarify this?" This is your opportunity to really build a little bit of foundation with the people that are attending. And it's something that isn't done on all summits. This isn't like a general thing. I haven't seen it done on other summits that I've participated in. And it's one of the things that I really love about Nicole's summits is that it really is based on building relationships. The whole goal Nicole and I have for 2026 is to help you get confident in getting seen and getting heard, learning that follow-up system, learning how to utilize your list, learning how to reach out in a way that's heart-led and yet automated so it's not drowning all your time and taking everything away from you. But we want you to have the confidence. That's why we created the school group. So you can come in. You'll have first opportunity to get on podcasts, to get on summits, things like that inside the group, to ask questions, to go through some of the courses and things that we have in there to get the confidence you need to show up. But the biggest confidence booster is going to be to start. Join the GSD club, right? Just start getting stuff done right now.
Yeah,
Make
get
that
it
decision,
done.
make
Let's
that
go.
decide you and your business are worth that, and then commit to it and start showing up. And you know what? What's hard today is going to be easier next week. And you're going to look back in a year and go, this is so easy. When I started my podcast, January 5th, I think, of 2025, my very first show, I'd lost my voice. I was a host and I lost my voice. I literally lost my voice. And thank goodness my first guest was well versed in the podcast world. And she treated me as if she'd ask me a little question every once in a while. That was all you could hear from me. And she carried the whole show. Did I stop? Did I turn off the camera? Did I give up? No, I didn't. It took months until I had consistent people showing up on the regular for my podcast. And yet you do that and it gets easier and easier and easier. And you look back in a year and you're like, wow, look what I've done. And then you can build from there. Because honestly, if you're building a business online, it's always about leveling up. And you've got to learn to do that. Set those goals and then build the habits that get you to your goals.
100%. And that's a great note to end it on. I want to say thank you for being here, you guys. We start 11 a.m. So on the hour, we're going to start. We're going to get out there. We're going to have some great things. Let's talk. Let's get in there, learn some new tips and tricks. See you in the Voice Lab as well. And we've got some great things coming up next month in the Voice Lab group on the school platform. And we'll let you know more about it next week. All right, guys, have a great day.